Have you ever looked up at a plane and wondered about all the invisible things that keep it safe? Well, there's this whole secret language, a constant stream of coded messages that every single pilot has to master. Today, we're going to dive in and decode that language together. Take a look at this. Now, it might look like total gibberish, but I promise you it's not. This is a real, super important alert for pilots flying into Bozeman, Montana. It's dense, it looks confusing, and hidden inside is information that could literally be the difference between a smooth landing and a very, very bad day. I know, it absolutely looks like a secret code. And you know what? In a way, it is. But stick with me because we're going to crack it. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what this message is saying and why it is so incredibly vital for aviation safety. So, let's start with the absolute basics. What exactly is this secret code that pilots are fluent in? It's all part of a system called NOTAMs, which stands for Notice to Airmen. The best way to think about it is like a live news feed for the sky. You see, paper maps and charts get printed, but they can be out of date the second they're published. NOTAMs are the real-time updates that fill in all the gaps. And the kind of stuff you'll find in them is, well, it's everything. We're talking about runway closures, a construction crane that just shot up near the airport, maybe the GPS signals on the fritz, or even a big air show that closes off a chunk of airspace. If it's temporary and it affects safety, you can bet there's a NOTAM for it. All right, so how on earth do pilots read this stuff so quickly? Let's take this slightly simpler but very real NOTAM and just break it down piece by piece. Okay, this is where the magic happens. Let's translate. GGG is just the three-letter code for the airport, in this case, East Texas Regional. RYW13ALS tells us the what, the approach lighting system for runway 13. Then you get US, that's super common pilot speak for unserviceable. Basically, it's broken. And that huge string of numbers, that's just the date and time it's effective, written in a universal format for pilots everywhere. So this tells a pilot those landing lights are out of commission from October 2024 all the way to May 2025. See? Once you know the lingo, it starts to make sense. So we've learned a few words of the language, but in the real world, it's rarely about reading just one message. It's more like putting together a puzzle, sometimes with pretty high stakes. Let's go back to that first crazy-looking NOTAM from Bozeman. Remember, there's major construction going on there, which means there isn't just one problem. There are multiple things to worry about. A pilot can't just read one of these and call it a day. They have to connect all the dots to get the full picture before they even think about taking off. Let's walk through the pilot's thought process. First, they see that NOTAM about the cranes. That's a problem. It means they can't descend as low on their primary GPS approach. Okay, no big deal. What's the backup plan? Well, they check the backup, the ILS, but a second NOTAM says that system is out of service overnight. Uh-oh. Options are getting slim. And then, to top it all off, a third NOTAM says the runway itself is completely closed during those same nighttime hours. And boom, that's the moment it all clicks. Each one of those NOTAMs was a clue, but together, they paint a very clear picture. Trying to land in Bozeman that night would be a really bad idea. The pilot now knows they have to arrive during the day or just divert to another airport entirely. That's how this system works. So where do all these critical alerts even come from? I mean, they don't just appear out of thin air, right? There's a whole system of people and processes working behind the scenes 24/7. It's really a team effort. You've got FAA officials, airport managers who know every inch of their facility, and air traffic controllers who have that bird's eye view of everything happening in the sky. When one of them spots a potential hazard, they kickstart the whole process. And the process itself is pretty straightforward but super strict. First, someone on the ground identifies the hazard. Then, a trained pro drafts a message using a rigid international format so a pilot from anywhere in the world can understand it. Finally, that message gets blasted out through the system, popping up almost instantly on the iPads and apps that pilots rely on. So, we've decoded the language, we've seen it in action. Let's just zoom out for a second and think about what this all really means for anyone who ever steps on a plane. I love this quote. It just sums it all up perfectly. The world is always changing, right? Way faster than they can reprint paper charts. The NOTAM system is that living, breathing layer of information that keeps everything up to the minute. So the next time you're sitting on a plane, looking out the window, just remember this. There's a constant, invisible conversation happening, a complex, coded language that's being checked and double-checked by your flight crew, all to weave this incredible net of safety around your flight. When you think about it, our entire world runs on hidden codes like this, from the barcode on your coffee to the software that runs traffic lights. The NOTAM system is just a powerful reminder that sometimes the most important languages aren't meant to be secret, they're meant to keep us safe. Makes you wonder, what other ones are you relying on every single day without even knowing it?